I've come to the town of Cardwell to explore a mystery. For many years, the people of this area have reported seeing strange lights in the night sky. Is this a UFO hotspot? I seek answers. But Cardwell is not only about mysterious lights. In this area of sugar plantations and rainforest mountains, you'll also find Australia's highest waterfall and areas of natural beauty. Today I've come to Cardwell, about 2 hours north of Townsville, overlooking Hinchinbrook Island behind me. This little town may lay claim to be the UFO capital of Australia, because it's over there to the north of town that over the years many people have seen two strange lights that whiz by parallel and then suddenly shoot straight up. That out there by Hinchinbrook Island, they've seen mysterious objects just rise from the sea and go straight up. And the local First Nations people have stories here about the Bagu, who were mystical spirits who would throw fire sticks across the sky and a trail of fire would follow. Stories of UFOs in the Cardwell area have been making the news for many years. So I want to investigate these stories, but I have no idea where to start. So I'm just going to wander around and ask some locals, and maybe somebody will point me in the right direction. I've come into the caravan park because firstly I need somewhere to stay tonight, and I've met Colin. Colin, what do you know about UFOs in Cardwell?
Quite a lot of people around town believe they've had interactions with UFOs.
Have you had any?
No, none, not that I'm aware of.
What do you think about the whole UFO business here in Cardwell?
Oh, it's a bit weird.
A bit weird. Have you had any experiences?
Not really.
Is it something you believe in, or
No.
really?
I don't know, I can't say that I've seen any.
Yeah.
There's certainly some strange things in Cardwell, so some of the folks we deal with are probably extraterrestrial, but other than that, I don't know, but it certainly brings people to the town, and there's a lot of people believe. Being such a beautiful part of the world, we have some beautiful clear nights, and I gather when you have clear nights like that, you probably will see things that are a little bit out of the ordinary. So yeah, it's a good spot, and what they believe in is what they believe in. I don't know if I believe it, but we'll wait and see.
I've noticed in town, all these little areas where it's shady and they've got some seats so you can sit, they're all disc shaped. Is there a clue there? Now, it's a bit windy and the sea's a bit choppy, but I've come out onto the jetty because I think from out here we get a better view of the skyline over Cardwell. So I talked to a number of people. Most of them didn't want to be on camera, and it doesn't look like I'm getting very far. I'm just hoping somebody will point me in the direction of somebody who knows something. But I couldn't find anybody who would talk on camera about their experiences. All I could do was scan the night sky and hope that maybe I could see something. The only orange lights I'm seeing are street lights. But the next morning, I came up with a new approach. Of course, if you really want to know what locals think, you go to the pub, right? So there's a bunch of locals here at the pub, so let's see what they think about it all. Anybody had any experiences?
Yeah, I had. One big light just come screaming down.
Yeah.
And all the power went out and everything.
So they followed you for a little bit?
No, we're just sitting there fishing.
And they went past, and then what happened?
It just disappeared. It wasn't a boat or anything like that. It was just, there was no sound. There was no sound at all.
Yeah, really?
But it just went past us about 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And everything, all the lights went out and everything. And I just couldn't explain it.
Then we go hunting through the night. You can see them coming. And they go away. No sound, nothing.
As I say, there's been a few stories about these things spotted on cars.
but they thought they just might have been memory lights. Pull up, they seem to stop. So when you start travelling again, they start travelling, but they're a distance.
Cardwell on the Bruce Highway has an annual UFO festival. It's the only one in Australia, and apparently people come from all around Australia. They dress up as their favourite alien, and there's talks about UFOs and all sorts of mysterious things. As I asked around town for people who may have had experiences, time and again, one name kept coming up: Thea. So I arranged to meet Thea at a Drift Cafe. Thea is the organiser of the Cardwell UFO Festival. Hi Thea.
Hello.
So Thea, I'm getting the impression that Cardwell's a little bit of a hotspot for mysterious lights and UFOs.
Yes, it is, and so it's been really since settlement that there's been unusual stories that have been recorded about different things in the sky, coming out of the water, on the lands. So there is one particular phenomena that has been recorded since early settlement in people's diaries, and then as we get it further into technology, people have recorded this, and it's these two lights that travel across the sky parallel with each other, and so they travel across the sky and then they will just shoot straight up, and we've just coined it the Cardwell lights. We've had people that have experienced craft coming out of the waters out here at Rockingham Bay.
What kind of craft? What are we talking
like
about?
Spaceships and craft. And then we've had many fishermen that have also experienced things out on the water.
Yeah.
So there is one very famous incident it's sort of in between Cardwell and Tully, and it was at a cane farmer's property, the Panesi's property, and a neighbouring farmer saw a craft leaving, and so he followed it, and when he got to what they call the lagoon, and there was all these reeds that were pressed down.
Have you had any personal experiences?
I have when I was a child. My family and I were camping over at Garden Islands. It's one of the little islands out the front here, and we used to always go over and camp on Easter weekend.
Yeah.
And I can remember I was up at night with my parents and their friends. All the other children had gone to sleep, and they could see, we all could see this light, looked like a meteor, something, coming down. And we just thought it was like an asteroid, something, falling from the sky.
Yeah.
And then that was sort of unusual, but the really unusual thing is that it shot back up out of the water. That's what was unusual.
Out of the water?
Out of the water.
So it went into the water?
It went into the water, and then something shot back up out of the water. Yeah. Even now today, there's one of the gentlemen still alive, and I will say, to him about the weekend, and he does not want to talk about it.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because that generation, I think they were felt to be ridiculed in that generation. Like people are more open-minded now and are more into actually finding more answers than just poo-hooing things. Yeah. And that's sort of, with the festival, we have two components of the festival. We have the fun and quirky, people dress up, we have a party, it's all great, and we have best dress competitions and all that sort of thing. But then we also have the C-Files Forum, which is a take on the X-Files, so C is for Cardwell. So C-Files Forum, where people who have a genuine interest in the unexplained come together. We have guest speakers, people, it's like a safe space where people can actually talk about their experiences and other people who are interested in listening to their experiences. And there's no ridicule, there's no judgment. So it's really a very good forum for that.
I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to listen to their stories. And those who have claimed to have had experiences are pretty sincere in their telling of the stories. And I don't think we should doubt them. To UFOs and are aliens coming to Cardwell? Don't really know. But you never know. It's all a bit of a mystery.
I believe it's possible, I mean, we can't be the only ones with all the quadrillion planets that are probably out there and amongst all those universes. There's probably life out there somewhere, but whether they want to come and visit foolish people like us on Earth, I don't know.
Cardwell is a small town on the Bruce Highway, about halfway between Cairns and Townsville. It's the sort of place people stop for lunch as they're travelling between those two cities, and then usually they're on their way again. But Cardwell isn't only about UFOs. There's some beautiful natural spots around here, and there's some history. So let's explore those as well. Something I really wanted to see was Australia's highest waterfall, Wallaman Falls. The journey there took me through sugar plantations, mountains, and rainforest. I've come to Wallaman Falls. These are Australia's highest waterfall. 269 metres. Oh my God, that's a drop and a half. It just drops 300 metres, almost 300 metres. It just drops straight down. Oh my God. Never seen anything like it. I camped overnight and then very early in the morning set out to hike to the base of the falls. Well, it's morning and the clouds have rolled in, but there's nobody else here. So let's see if we can hike down to the bottom of the falls. Yeah, something tells me this is going to be a tough one. 300 metres, pretty much straight down. Going down's probably not the problem. I think coming up might be a bit testing. Ah, great. See these? These are stinging trees. They'll cause extreme pain if you touch them. Alright Terence, just don't touch the foliage. I mean, you can't come to Australia's highest waterfall and not go to the bottom of it, eh? Yeah, you can look at it from the lookout, but I'm only going to be here once, so I may as well hike down to the bottom. The only thing is, I've started pretty early. I'm the only one on the trail. There's absolutely nobody else here, so if anything goes wrong, I'm probably screwed. Because there's also no phone reception. It's a complete black spot. And now it's getting harder. I've come to Cardwell Spa Pool. This is a natural swimming hole in the forest outside the town of Cardwell. This pool is well known for its beautiful, natural turquoise waters. At least that's what it's like in wet season. In dry season, it's a dirty, stagnant pond. I was looking forward to this. You can't go swimming in there. There are signs all around saying it's not safe, you'll get sick. And I believe it because it even smells. It's not good. It looked a lot better in the posters. The Girringun are the local First Nations people, and they've got an art centre and keeping place here at Cardwell. So these are a range of traditional fire-making tools called bagu. This is actually really lightweight. It's made out of milky pine, and the sticks at the back are made out of guava. And the sticks were used to create friction that would then create fire. And these are Jarwan, which are basically all-purpose carrying bags that would also carry the fire sticks. This is something unique to this area. It's actually a boomerang, non-returning, but that's used for ceremony and for hunting. Cross boomerangs. Some beautiful works here, and it's all made by local traditional owners. You know, sometimes people say they've heard something on the bush telegraph. On Cardwell, they actually do have a bush telegraph. Cardwell was established in 1864, and in 1870 they built the Bush Telegraph Office. This was really important because it linked the southern part of Queensland with the northern part of Queensland, which was just developing in those days. And the old Bush Telegraph Office is open to just anyone to have a look around and see how people used to communicate way back in the 1870s. And here's how the telegraph worked. Morse code with dots and dashes. Of course, the Bush Telegraph wasn't just a post office and telegraph office, it was its own little village. This is the kitchen. And out the back, there's a courthouse and a lockup, and even the dunny. Here's the dunny. That's about as Aussie as you get, a good old outhouse. This was the policeman's office, and if I walked next door, that was the courtroom where the magistrate worked. And if the magistrate heard your case and it didn't go too well, then you probably ended up here in the lockup. Now, there's a lot of mud flats around here. Consequently, there's plenty of crab. And in town, they make great crab sandwiches here at the food truck. So, a famous Cardwell crab roll. That's great. What an interesting little town Cardwell is. I know a lot of people just stop here for a bite to eat and a coffee and then they're on their merry way. But maybe it's worth stopping for a little bit longer, exploring some of the history, some of the beauty, and some of those tales about mysterious lights. So that's Cardwell. I'm not here to judge. People have had experiences. Those experiences seem very real to them. And I think that's valid. Is Cardwell a UFO hotspot? I'm not really sure. It doesn't seem to have more experiences than many other places. But here, the folks are embracing it. And if it brings people to town, that's a good thing for Cardwell. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Can you see all those March flies? Oh my God, there's freaking hundreds of them, and they're all biting as I'm standing here trying to take footage. Ow, it's not pleasant. I wanted to just sit here and enjoy this view. And these little buggers just keep swarming and biting. Get off. Ow. Hey, solo YouTubing, you end up walking twice the distance.